Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This Wednesday, we will be studying the Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. As usual, let us begin with this stotra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhirviritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. Last that we discussed about the God, about the God incarnation. So we actually mentioned about that the wonderful conversation between the Valmiki, Mahamuni Valmiki, and Narada. There we find he is asking, is there anyone a perfect personality? And he mentioned about the 10 qualities. Then we can think in this way, the God actually are the good qualities. When a person, a human being, develop the good qualities, that person become God himself. So what are those qualities? First is Gunavan. All good moral qualities are there. Viryavan. He is also very mentally strong and very decisive type. Dharmagnascha, then he is also knower of dharma. What is the dharma? Dharma means the duties and the responsibilities of a person. And very clear about the duties and responsibilities. And according to our scripture, that there are 4 ashramas are there. The brahmacharya, garhastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. And in every ashrama, the duties and responsibilities are changing. So one is very clear about that. Kritagnyascha, he never forgets if anyone is helping him. So that is kritagnata. Satyavaka, truthfulness. Didhabhrataha, firm in his decision. Atmavan, he has conquered of the senses. Jita krodha, he has conquered his anger. Dutiman is lustrous, beautiful, at the same time anasuyakaha, never find fault with others. So these are the religion. So when we talk about religion, we mostly think about some of the practices, do's and don'ts, and think that the power will protect me and all that. That is a general knowledge, the general conception about religion. But religion is a transformation. And that transformation comes when an avatar comes. So this we will discuss today. And we were reading from the page 885 English and 957 the Bengali. So here we find that Vijay Krishna Goswami, when the conversation was going on between the doctor Sarkar and Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Master Masha and all those, Vijay Krishna Goswami, he was excited. So without referring to the previous conversation, he is mentioning, I feel as if someone were always moving with me. It is an experience. He is thinking that he will do it, and he felt that someone is guiding him. And everywhere the success is coming. So that's why there is a realization. So naturally after the realization, a person becomes excited. He said, I feel as if someone were always moving with me. He shows me what is happening even at a distance. What will happen, and I am going, all these things he could see. And then he is mentioning that Narendra, like a guardian angel. The Narendra, young man, 17, 18 years, he mentioned that it is like a guardian angel. If you notice that, among the conversation, we always find the influence of the Bible and the Christianity. In those days, it was under the British rule, tremendous influence of the Bible and the Christianity and the European culture. It was there on Indian educated and cultured people. There was nothing actually. So we have to keep in mind how the transformation is coming. And Avatara is changing the psyche of the whole society. Now, educated people, they're trying to copy the Western life. And rich people trying to pacify and have good relation with the rulers, that is Britishers. And other people, they're all suffering, just living somehow. So that was the society, Indian society. And there the avatar Sri Ramakrishna, and he is slowly transforming the mindsets. Narendra mentioned the guiding angel. It is the conception of the Christianity. So he mentioned like that. Bijay, as because he realized that he is not reacting to Narendra's comment, he mentioned, I have seen him, meaning Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. They were actually conversing, they were talking, sitting before Sri Ramakrishna. And now Vijay Krishna Goswami said, and he is not an ordinary person. He was one of the leaders of the Brahma Samaj. Afterwards, he himself became a great spiritual leader. And they are coming from the lineage of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all that. So this Vijay Krishna is mentioning, I have seen him, meaning the master, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in Dhaka. Dhaka, present-day Bangladesh capital, is far away from Calcutta, and they are now sitting in Calcutta. And he said, I saw him in Dhaka. But Sri Ramakrishna, now he is a patient, he cannot move. Every day doctors are coming and treating him. But we find that he saw him in Dhaka. I even touched his body. That's why he is so much excited, not that he knows that. People may say, oh, that was an illusion and all that. But he says, no, I touched his body. And he was holding the hand of Sri Ramakrishna. He was in Dhaka, far away from Calcutta, and there he was giving a talk and discussing with other devotees. He found Sri Ramakrishna sitting by his side. Astounded how Sri Ramakrishna has come, he hold his hand, and just real, normal human being, he found that, and then afterwards he vanished. That's why after this realization, Vijay Krishna Goswami's faith in the God's existence in Sri Ramakrishna, that increased. That's why he is focusing on his own realization. Now Narendra said, I too have seen him many a time. Now here this young man, the Narendra, afterwards Swami Vivekananda, he also expressed his opinion that I have seen him too many a times. How can I say I do not believe your words? The Narendra is supporting because he too had the realization. You know that one time Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said to Ma Sharadamani Devi, when you will notice that I am living in Calcutta, away from Dakshineswar and spending night in that devotee's house and or other places in Calcutta, eating from different people, and people are worshipping me as God while alive, know for sure I am going to close my Leela, this divine play. Then he was giving that hint to Ma Sharadamani Devi a few years before. And this is 1885. Next year, 1886, he passed away. Sri Ramakrishna, when they were conversing, Vijay said like that, then he said, you must have seen somebody else. It is not me. He wanted to say that don't discuss about that. But Vijay and Naren both were having the same realization. Not only that, one of his nephew, and he served Sri Ramakrishna for a long period of time. Then afterwards something happened, he had to go back. And he wanted Sri Ramakrishna to be present when he was worshipping goddess Durga. The Durga Puja, as usual, it is a great function for the Bengalis particularly. So he was having the Durga Puja in his house at Shihor, far away from Calcutta, in a village. And he invited Sri Ramakrishna, please come. He was his maternal uncle. He thought that Sri Ramakrishna will come. But Sri Ramakrishna could not reach over there. It was not possible that. You have to walk, you have to take a train, then you have to take a bullock cart, and sometimes you have to take the boat or sometimes walking. It was not so easy to go. So Sri Ramakrishna didn't go, he was in Dakshineshwar. And you know that Durga Puja means 5 days, 6 days celebration. So the sixth, the puja started on the Shashti. It was Saptami. Then he was crying profusely, how it is that you could not come, and you said that you will come. And I know that once you give the word, you will surely keep it. How come this time you didn't keep your word? You said that I will come. On the Ashtami day, he saw Sri Ramakrishna standing by the side of the Durga image and fanning the mother. He saw it. And that house is still there. Many devotees, they go, when you are going to visit the Kamarpuku Jairambati, you can go to Shihor also. Many people, they go. I have also visited. That the moment the first you are entering into that village, the houses, small houses here and there, that is the Durga Mandap is there, is a dedicated place for Durga Puja. Sri Ramakrishna went over there and everyone saw him. Everyone. So can you imagine? So he was God and he could be present anywhere. And after he left the body, many people saw him. The one incident that I think I mentioned in some of my talks that happened in Cherrapunji. And the long back, I think 1975. So one day one lady came, the tribal lady, and she was saying something in their own dialect, the Kashya dialect. Only the in-charge Swamiji, Swami Gokulananda ji, he could understand and he could speak in that language. So after hearing that, he called all of us. We were there waiting for the morning breakfast. After the prayer, meditation, we went to the kitchen for the morning breakfast. All assembled there, 4 or 5 of us. Then he, please come, let us see what happened. That lady, with her we all entered into our shrine, and she showed the picture of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in the shrine and told, this gentleman visited me last evening and asked me to meet you. He showed, pointing to Sri Ramakrishna. Gokulandaji burst in tears and said, we have left our hearth and home. We are going on praying. Please come and give us your vision. You never come before us, and you have gone to this lady who never knows you. What happened afterwards, we came to hear from him that she was sleeping, and then suddenly she saw that a gentleman standing by her bedside, and whole room is full of light. And she got up, not knowing actually what is happening. It was not dream. She got up from the bed. Then she started talking with the gentleman. He was also speaking in that Kashya dialect. And he was insisting her, you should go to Cherrapunji. They were away from another village. You should go to Cherrapunji tomorrow morning, meet the Maharaj and tell what I say to you. And she was not knowing what is Maharaj. So they were accustomed to the father because churches are there. So she said, Father, and I can still remember the word that the Sri Ramakrishna used, Emdon. Emdon means no. Emdon, in their term. The no, it is Maharaj. Remember this and go. And then she accompanied the gentleman, came out from the house, coming out, then a small little courtyard, then a small gate, then the road. Both of them, they came to the road. Suddenly he disappeared, and it was all pitch dark. She was standing in the dark. Now she was terrified, and she started screaming and crying. The neighbors, they all came running. Then what happened? She disclosed and said, maybe a ghost came and took me out, and that way. Then one gentleman said, no, 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 I know Cherrapunji. They have a beautiful school over there. I know the Swamijis, they call him Maharaj. That tomorrow I can accompany you to Cherrapunji. So almost in the early dawn, they started from there. They reached in the time, almost 7 o'clock or so, in the morning, and this is the incident. Now she was not knowing Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna went and told him like this, and she saw, she talked. Can you imagine? This Swami Gokulanandaji Maharaj told that our President Maharaj will be visiting, so you please come and talk to him. I heard that President Maharaj gave her initiation. This type of things also happen. It may be miraculous, but it is nothing in the spiritual life. It is possible. The Sri Ramakrishna is an avatar, and this conception, it is so very clearly mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. The 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Krishna, he is disclosing the divine form, the avatar. Why God take human form and live like human? God is called Aja. Aja means unborn. If you are born, that means you are coming under the assembly of the 5 things. This, we know that Shiti, Apa, Tej, Marut and Boma, these are the 5 ingredients by which everything is made. So the moment we take the human form or any form and birth, these 5 things are there. And anything which is the combination of many other things, it breaks. So we die also, a body also perishes. But God cannot be like that. God cannot die. Then how come that God is taking the human form? How that is possible? And here, of course, there are debates are there between, and maybe we can say among the philosophers. The Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya, he is explaining in one way. Then Madhvacharya, the propounder of the duality, he is explaining in a different way. And Ramanujacharya, they are all Acharya, they are the teachers. He explained it in a different way. So that is the philosophical explanation. We accept Acharya Shankara, and the Shankara says he is not taking birth like us. The human birth is a must, because you have to enjoy your karma phala. Whatever the good or bad karma that you have done, that you have to suffer or enjoy, whatever. But it is not for the God. He takes his, how? The Mayadhisha. He is the master of the supreme power which is called as Maya. The word Maya is available in the Rig Veda. Then Shankaracharya using that, the Maya is the power of God, and using that Maya, that power, he takes a human form as if, but it is not true. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, here also we find the person who was so sick, even he could not turn on the bed he is lying, could not turn from one side to another. 2 people were necessary to turn his body. He was so sick and weak, lying on the bed. That man got up and ran down from the staircase, ran whole if you have visited the place that's called Kashipur Uddanbati, and came back again in the same way, lied down on his bed. Noticed by Ma Sharadamani Devi. She was in the below the ground floor room, and hearing that sound on the steps, the wooden steps, so she came out to see who is running like this, and she wondered, Sri Ramakrishna. Then she came and told, I saw you, but she was not believing her own eyes. Then Sri Ramakrishna told, oh, you have noticed it, you have seen me, don't disclose it to anyone. I heard the conversation of the young, the devotees, they are planning to go to drink that date tree's juice. And that is a very tasty. So the young people, they were there to look after Sri Ramakrishna, to attend to him. So they were planning, but there was a cobra. So Sri Ramakrishna understood it, went and drove that cobra, the snake, came, and how can you say that he was sick? But the people are coming, doctors are coming, and then treating him, and at the same time, he is behaving like this. So this is avatara. The avatars are as if a human form, but in reality it is not. That's why Shankara said, as if. And when the people say, if the God who is Aja can take birth, how that is possible? In Laghu Bhagavat Amrita, there's a scripture, it says, Tadrishancha bina shaktim na siddhet parameshata. Parameshwara, Param Ishwara, the Supreme God, if he is not having the power, then he is not God. If the king is not having the kingdom or the property, then he is not a king. If the Lord, Supreme Lord, is not having the power, then he is not a Supreme Lord. So that is called Tadrishancha Bina Shaktim. Without the power, how can we say God is that Supreme God? In Mahabharata, we find 10 avatars. And in the beginning, the list began with Hamsha. Hamsha means when the Lord Vishnu appeared for the first time. The Vishnu means all pervasiveness. Vistareti Vishnu. The Vishnu was all pervading, he was not having any form. So this is the beauty of the Hinduism, form and formless. It can be with form and it is not without form. Both we accept. The Vishnu means he is without form, but without form we cannot pray, we cannot meditate. So when the Brahma prayed to him, he appeared for the first time as an Hamsha, as a swan. So that the avatara, the first avatara in the Mahabharata, then afterwards other Puranas after Mahabharata, they are not accepting that particular manifestation of the Lord Vishnu, which manifested for a few moments. So they deducted that and added Lord Buddha, because Buddha showed the same quality of the avatar. What are the qualities of an avatar? That he is re-establishing dharma. And that is the main work, re-establishing the dharma, dharma sthapana. And he is removing the adharma. That is exactly what the Lord Buddha also did. His philosophy was completely different. He was very practical way he was teaching the ordinary people. Don't bother about God. Tell the truth. Serve others. Don't steal. Like that morality. And he was very practical. If you practice morality, then naturally you transform into divine. You need not to think about God or bother about God. You yourself will transform into God. As in the beginning we were mentioning, when that Narada, he gave the reply to the Rishi and the 10 qualities of God. Treta Yuga, we find the great avatar Sri Ramachandra. And then Dwapar Yuga, there is Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And Kali Yuga, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Why they came? To re-establish dharma, at the same time helping people to develop the worldly prosperity also. And the Ramachandra, we find that constantly he is mentioning you have to be careful about your own duty. Swadharma. He didn't mention that word, but he practiced that. And the main thing that he was mentioning again and again, practiced also himself, truthfulness. Whatever you say, you must keep that word. You should not back up. Once you have given the word, you must have to keep the promise. That is the main teaching of Sri Ramachandra. Second, we find this Sri Krishna, the society became a little bit complicated. At the time of Sri Ramachandra, immediately after the Satya Yuga, the human society was developing, not very complicated. Most of the people are good, some they were. The Rajaguna, Tamaguna was manifesting. So Sri Ramachandra gave these directions. The relationship, all these things he developed. At the time of Bhagavan Krishna, that was in the Dwapara Yuga, it became very complicated, and particularly the kings, they were not ready to follow the dictums of the Veda. That's why the Krishna, though himself he manifested in that Kshatriya family, but he punished the kings only. If you noticed in the whole Mahabharata, he was punishing the kings because they were not following the dictums of our scripture. What is that? You must keep control over your anger, over your greed, your lust, and that way you have to look after your subjects. The king should be a good king, a just king, capable to earn money and spend that money, as Ramachandra also discussing with this with his brother Bharata in the Ramayana. So these are the king's qualities. The kings are not necessary to go to practice meditation and all. They should practice these things. These are, at the time of Sri Ramakrishna, it was a completely modern society. Now, India got connected with the whole world by that time, and different type of groups they came. Shah, Khun, Pathan, Mughal, then the Dutches, then the French, then the Britishers, all they came one after another. So obviously it was a complete different scenario. The God changed also the whole thing in a very different way. At the time of Ramachandra, he himself was punishing. We know that he slain, he killed Ravana. And at the time of Sri Krishna, also he took up the arms. But in the modern society, it is not necessary. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna took another weapon, and that is convincing the people, changing the minds of the people. And we saw how he is changing. The Girish Chandra Ghosh, he was a completely different type of person, very, very in a society, that type of people you always see. He will be drinking and going this and that. But he changed and became a very good personality, Girish Chandra Ghosh. Just Sri Ramakrishna talked to him and asked him to visit regularly. We see the complete change. We see the change in the minds of Dr. Sharkar, who was an atheist, never believed God. That Sharkar is slowly changing. We are reading that chapter. And here we find the two things the avatara always look after. One, the development of the material properties, materialistic success. Otherwise, people won't be happy. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in his own word, he said, religion cannot be practiced in empty stomach. If you are very poor, then naturally your whole thought will be how to get some food. How can you think higher philosophies, moralities? When you are hungry and there is some food, you will naturally try to snatch it or steal it because of the hunger. It is not possible to maintain the morality. So the first thing is Nistreyasha, Abhudaya and Nistreyasha. These are the two wonderful qualities in the spirituality and the religion. Abhudaya, materialistic prosperity. Without the materialistic prosperity, you cannot keep the culture and religion. Religion is the last thing of the culture. So religion must be practiced afterwards when you are well off. And how that is possible? Sri Ramakrishna used to ask, you must follow your sadharma. One person came and he was spending time with Sri Ramakrishna. Whatever he was doing, he was also following. After 1 or 2 days, he noticed and then he asked, hey, are you married? Yes. You have children? Yes. But I find that you are staying here. Who is looking after your family? Oh, villagers will. How come? You are married, you have the wife, you have the children, and you are spending over time over here not looking after your family. Go back immediately. You must do that, your own sadharma. By that way, you will get the success in your spirituality. He gave the stories of a lady who was a housewife and how a monk who practiced for 12 long years and got some spiritual power and he could burn the birds and one day came to have the bhiksha, the alms from that lady, and she asked him to wait because she was busy. And that monk was thinking, oh, she doesn't know me. If I just look at her angrily, whole family will burn. From there inside, the monk was thinking, and the lady didn't see the monk even. But the moment he thought, immediately she understood it and said, don't think we are birds and you can burn us. Wait over there. How that was possible? Then she disclosed, I have practiced my swadharma. As this, I am a householder, this is my duty, I am looking after my family, my children, and doing it as a seva to God, as a service to God, and I got that power. So the stories Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is now giving to us to convince that don't think that if you are wearing the gerua, the color, and you are becoming pure. No, it is your mind, it is your thought, it is your action. So that is the avatara they were discussing about. Now, this Abhudaya and Nistrayasha. Nistrayasha is perfection in spiritual life. When we are successful in material life, then we think, after all this, I am not happy. Why? With this question, the journey begins. This material world cannot give me permanent happiness because this material world is temporary. Everything is temporary. It can never give me permanent happiness. Then the spiritual journey begins from there. This I was having everything except the happiness. How to be happy? Give up everything, you get the happiness. Sab chode, sab paave. If you give up everything, what is the giving up everything means? Attachment. So from here we will go to another chapter, 47 chapter, the master's training of his disciples. It was Monday, October 26th and 1885. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning when Master Mahashaya arrived at the Shampukur house on his way to Dr. Sharkar to report the Sri Ramakrishna's condition. Dr. Sharkar was treating Sri Ramakrishna and Master Mahashaya was responsible as a volunteer to regularly come to Sri Ramakrishna and hearing from him, he used to go to doctor and report to him. Dr. Sharkar had declared the illness incurable. After treating, we know that in the previous chapter, he was treating for a long period of time and then he understood, no, it is incurable. The words cast gloom over the minds of the Master's devotees and disciples. With unflagging devotion and zeal, they nursed the patient, their teacher, their guide, the philosopher, and the friend. A band of young disciples led by Narendra, was preparing to renounce the world and dedicate their lives to the realization of God and the service of humanity. This last year in his life, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna developed this thing that a band of sannyasins and the very devoted, supportive the householders. And very unique way he did it. Both are doing the same thing, same tapasya, same austerity, same spiritual practice. But one group, the younger generation, they have realized that this householder's life is not for us. So they completely dedicated and accepted the sannyasa and serving the God. How? With the help of the devotees. And what the devotees are doing? They, as a householder, utilizing their own knowledge, experience, earning money, a little portion of it sharing for the service of the society. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, if you can see God by closing your eyes, can't you see God with open eyes? That is the perfect Vedanta in practice. Vedanta says each soul is potentially divine. Except the Brahman, there is nothing. Whatever we see, everything is nothing but the manifestation of the consciousness. Then we close our eyes, we draw our mind, go into meditation to see that consciousness. Whereas before us, that same consciousness in the form of poor, downtrodden, illiterate, oppressed, sick people, they are there. Can't we see God within them? This is the practical Vedanta. They're so practical, then both of them are having the opportunity to practice this practical Vedanta of Sri Ramakrishna. The Sri Ramakrishna was developing a young band, a group, and they will be serving the God, and a group, those who will be in the samsara, in the world, and completely from the background support them. So he was that way. The people flocked to the master day and night. In spite of the excruciating pain in his throat, he welcomed them all with a cheerful face. There seemed to be no limit to his solicitude for their welfare. His face beamed as he talked to them about God. So this is called the service to man. Now a person is coming, he doesn't know much about God. He is not aware of the soul, the self, the higher spiritual life. And slowly you are talking to them, attending that man, listening to him, and then rectifying and slowly giving the light of God. That is the service of a sannyasi. Exactly that same thing Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was doing while he was so sick. Without caring for his own body, he was doing that. This is the teaching that Sri Ramakrishna gives to us. Most of the time, we the sannyasis, sometimes we do not like to meet people. Why not? We get sannyas after 10 years. Then after long 12, 14, 15 years, you get the opportunity to go to the society and mix with the society, and you should be convinced that I am doing it on behalf of God, for God, and I am serving God, the living gods. And this is my tapasya. This is when we read this line from the Gospel, this is the instruction that for the monks, those particularly those who are following the Sri Ramakrishna ideology. And Dr. Sharkar, seeing that conversation aggravated the illness, forbade him to talk to people. And he said, you must not talk to others. The physician had said to the master, but you may make an exception in my case. That he likes to talk to Dr. Sri Ramakrishna. The doctor used to spend 6 or 7 hours in Sri Ramakrishna's company and receiving whatever he said. Sri Ramakrishna, I am feeling much relieved. I am very well today. Is it because of the medicine? Then why shouldn't I continue it? He was talking to Master Masha. Master Masha, I am going to the doctor. I shall tell him everything. He will advise what is best. Sri Ramakrishna, I haven't seen Purna. Now notice it. The Purna was a young boy, as a student. He used to visit, and Sri Ramakrishna kept in contact with this type of young people. Minds are fresh, not scattered in the world. So he wanted to give them the spiritual knowledge so that they can be afterwards become the spiritually advanced souls. So he is remembering Purna. I didn't see him for 2-3 days. I am worried about him. Master Moshe to Kali. Why don't you see Purna and ask him to come? Kali, I shall go immediately. I don't know whether this Kali is our Kali Prasanna or the young boy, afterwards he became Swami Vivekananda, the Kali. But anyway, this Kali told, I will go and meet. Sri Ramakrishna to Master Moshe. The doctor's son is a nice boy. Please ask him to come. Master Moshe arrived at Dr. Sarkar's house and found him with 2-3 friends. Doctor to Master Moshe, I was talking about you just a minute ago. You said you'd come at 10. I have been waiting for you an hour and a half. Your delay has made me worry about him, meaning Sri Ramakrishna. We get a picture from here. The doctors, English educated person, the very time-bound people. And in Indian society, for some reason I do not know what, we don't keep timing. Everywhere, even in the big programs also, if they say it is 10 o'clock, it will start, you know that it will start at 10:30, 10:45. So why, none of us we know. And we will be joking among ourselves, oh, we are Indians, we like that. But you look at this Dr. Sarkar. Dr. Sarkar said 10 o'clock, you must come to 10 o'clock. Not only Dr. Sarkar, there's a Rabindranath Tagore. I heard, I have not read it. Rabindranath Tagore was also very, very punctual. And once it is said that he went to a program which was supposed to start at 3:30 and no one was there. And the stage was there and the chairs, everything was there, but no one was there. Neither the listeners nor the organizers, no people. Rabindranath went, sat in his dedicated chair that was meant for him and waited for 5 minutes, then wrote in Bengali 2 lines and left as his message. He said in Bengali, Eshe chilem, boshe chilem, দেখলুম কেউ নেই আমার 3:30 যেন 3:30 In Bengali he mentioned, you invited me, I came, I sat, but I found no one. But remember, my 3:30 is 3:30. So he wrote that and signed and left that message and left that. Keeping the time, this is also really, really very, very essential. Why? Controlling the mind. The mind always tries to deceive. So we have to be alert. So this is one of the things we must be very alert. Time means time. Punctuality, punctuality. I have seen Swami Gambhiranandaji Maharaj. He is my sannyasa guru. He will never a minute he will be there. The one gentleman came to invite him. He was a very close devotee. He was a very famous man in Calcutta. He wanted to invite Gambhiranandaji and some other Swamis, senior Swamis. And when he was inviting, he mentioned 11:30, I will come. Knowing the Gambhirananda ji, his attendant told, no, you need not 11:30, you say 11:30, 12, because he knew that you won't be able to come at 11:30. So within the half an hour, he will come and receive Maharaj. No. He said, no, 11:30. And exactly when it was that we were noticing 11:25, the Gambhiranji told, hey, where is my shoe and where is my stick? He was that time not very, he couldn't see properly, so he needed some help. Then the 11:25, he started collecting all that, and his Shebak, the brahmachari who was serving him, told, Maharaj, you need not to worry, let them come, then we will. No, it is 11:30, we should be ready. And exactly 11:30, he came down and sat in the office room, and he was waiting 5 minutes. 11:35, he got up from the chair, turned and told, oh no, I don't think I will be able to eat that food. And he went up. Then in the ashrama, there was no one cooked for him. Now again they cooked all that. Then at 12 o'clock that was served. A little boiled thing was given to him. I noticed that, and this man came after 12:15 when Gambhirananda almost finished his food. He came, oh, I was little late. Actually, what happened? Whatever actually and not, Gambhirananda told, oh, very good, thank you for invitation. But he went. So punctuality is very, very essential, at least in the spiritual and disciplined life. Without the punctuality, you won't be able to be successful in our materialistic life also. So here when I read, I like that Dr. Sharka's that punctuality, he mentioned that I was talking about you. You said you'd come at 10, and I have been waiting for you an hour and a half. That means he rolled 10 and came 11:30. Your delay made me worry about him. Of course, he said in a different way, the meaning Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And that also gives another thing, that how much he loved Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So many patients are there, doctors are attending them. Who cares for whom? But here is this very special person, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and he mentioned that. I was thinking about him. To a friend, please sing that song. And the friend sang. Proclaim the glory of God's name as long as life remains in you. The dazzling splendor of His radiance floods the universe. Like nectar streams His boundless love, etc., etc. Karotar naam gan jatodin dehe rahe pran. In Bengali, the doctor, he loved this type of songs, and songs actually gives the inspiration. The devotional songs, that gives inspiration. The words that is there, and some of the songs like Mirabai's songs and the Kabir songs, it is not song, it is a prayer, and expressed in that beautiful music, in the beautiful tune. So when we are singing or listening and putting our mind on the meaning of those lines, it takes our mind to God, and that is called meditation through music. The doctor, this was over, the doctor to Master Mahashaya. Isn't it beautiful song? How do you like that line? Where is his limit? Where his end? Where is his limit? Where his end? Anta ko tatar. Anta means the end. God has no limit, no end. It is all pervasive. He has taken up that idea that God is all pervasive. He was not a dualist. But he was a very wonderful person, and he accepted God in that particular form, which is all pervasiveness. The Master Masha told, that is very fine line. It fills the mind with the idea of the infinite. The doctor tenderly to Master Masha, it is already late in the morning. Have you taken lunch? I finish mine before 10 and then begin my professional calls. Otherwise, I don't feel well. Look here, I have been thinking of giving a feast to you all, meaning Sri Ramakrishna's devotees, one day. Those who are following these pages, we are noticing the change in the doctor. When the doctor first came, he never bothered about the devotees. And he was a snobbish type of person. He came, he saw the Sri Ramakrishna, and naturally he just prescribed some medicine. He wanted his fees as the normal doctor. Then slowly he started listening to the talk of Sri Ramakrishna and the comments of the devotees like Narendranath, Master Mahasaya, Girish Chandra Ghosh, and all others. And he also joined in the conversation, sometimes opposing, but slowly he started loving the devotees also. When a person, he loved God and loved his devotees, it is, as in the Bhagavata it says, it is the sign of the development of Sattva Guna. Whenever you see the devotee who is also visiting God, talking about God, singing the glory of God, and when I see him, I also like him, feel that someone whom I really know. And that is the sign of Sattva Guna, the best quality. As Bhagavan Sri Krishna asked his disciple and friend, Uddhava, O Uddhava, develop Sattva Guna. And when the Uddhava asked, how I will know, this was one of the points he said, when you will feel, seeing the other devotees, that they are your own, know that you have started loving me. So those who are devotees, we are trying to realize God, we come to temple, we visit the holy places. These are the qualities we must remember and try to imbibe. When you see others, oh, why they are there, it should not be. They are the devotees of God. Swami Vivekananda, almost at the end of his life, he said, I am the servant of the devotees of God. Then those who are devotee and their devotee, I am their servant. So humble. Why? He's thinking about God. He's praying to God. He's reading. He's talking. He's singing. He's meditating. And one who is doing that, they must be pure, trying to be pure. So we must also love them. So that is the Master Mahasaya said, I like to give a feast. And he said, where? Where shall I arrange it? Here or at Shampukur house? Wherever you suggest. Master Mahasaya said, it doesn't matter, sir. Wherever you arrange it, we shall be very happy to dine with you. The conversation turned to Kali, the Divine Mother. The doctor, he commented a not very good word about Kali, another influence of the different religion. So they could not understand goddess Kali. And the image that we see, mostly the Hindu images, they are actually the form that we see is not the true. It has a different meaning, complete different meaning, as we call in the modern day term, decoding. The goddess Kali is a wonderful expression of the knowledge and power. The God is the knowledge, God is the power. When the God is knowledge, but inactive, not doing anything, it is Shiva. But when the God is active, creating, sustaining, destroying, it is Mother Kali. And the knowledge, this action and knowledge has been depicted. When we see the human skull as a garland, that is all the symbol of knowledge. And the hands, the human hands, that is hanging from the waist of the Mother Kali, is a symbol of karma, the action. The knowledge and action together, it creates. Without understanding this, by just seeing that, some people they said, oh, this is the image of a lower caste lady and she is terrible, cutting the head of the people and keeping the count. It is all nonsense. It is nothing like that. The Hindus, they will give the story that the mother power, she was punishing the demons. But who are the demons? Can a divine mother cut her own children and keep their heads as a garland? And can we Hindu worship that mother? Can we call her divine mother? No. So that's why the great sages, the practitioners of the Tantra, they said, when there was no creation at all, where you got the skulls, human skulls, Brahmanda chilona jakon, mundo mala kothaye peli. He was asking, there was no Brahmanda, there was no creation. Where you got the human skull? It is an indication that it is not that the Shiva was cutting the head. The Kali, the Dr. Sharkar, he commented in a very bad way. Then Master Moshe burst into loud laughter. The Master Moshe was not angry. Master Moshe himself was not knowing about Goddess Kali. Then after coming to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he came to know about Kali. Now he is mentioning, where did you get that idea? So where did you get that idea that Mother Kali was from the lady from the black community and all that? Where did you get that idea? He laughed. Friends, one thing again I noticed over here, our devotees are also slowly becoming the missionaries. That is essential. Just every time we go and we listen to the talk of the Swamis, then we come back, sometimes we read the books, and there it ends, not like that. You have to transmit it also. So you have to understand it clearly, and then wherever this type of conversations are taking shape, you have to express those correct ideas. When the Dr. Sarkar, a man like him, he was a very famous man in those days. Master Mahashaya is giving the correct idea. Sir, where you got this peculiar idea? The transformation of a devotee into a missionary way. So after this we will study and we will continue in our next Wednesday class. Our devotees who are regularly attending, reading and listening and pondering, meditating, should also develop the conviction that these are the things, wherever there will be some discussion, we should also participate and tell them in a convincing way. Then only the truth, the knowledge will percolate. Otherwise, depending on a few handful monks, that the whole society will change? No. Not that you have to go and give the talk, but the conversation in different meeting, we can always say these are the correct ideas of the Kali image, Durga image, Jagannath Mahaprabhu. These are the correct ideas. That this is called the missionary way. So when I am learning, I also help others to know it clearly. Thank you.
So the first question is from Birendra Majumdar. He is saying, very often I feel my mother is very near to me, but I cannot see her. Whenever I am alone, my mind reaches Joyrambati talking with mother. Am I going mad?
You can never become mad, you know. You are developing the spirituality and you are blessed, I should say. When you are meditating on someone who is nothing but the consciousness, how can you become mad? When you are constantly praying to Mother, thinking about Mother, and seeing Mother, it is impossible that you are losing your mental balances. But at the same time, try to remember your own duties and responsibilities and perform them in a detached way, as we the monks also always do. There are so many responsibilities. We are performing that, but in a detached way. You too do that and enjoy the company of the Divine Mother. You are blessed, I should say. Thank you.
Well, this is actually a little bit long question. Three parts. First part is saying Adi Shankaracharya said Brahman is true and the world is false. This theory enabled me to ignore my miseries. But Swami Turiyanandaji said Brahma Satya, Jagat Satya. Now I have two questions. Why did revered Swami deviate from the original? Second part, how should we apply Swami Turiyanandaji's to overcome our own miseries? If the world is true, then our miseries are also true.
Now, this is a very good question, very intelligent question. But Shankaracharya and Turiyanandaji both are correct. You know why? Because can there be anything except Brahman? No. So the Jagat, that as long as we are feeling it, we can touch it, we can smell it, we can taste it, we can see it, we can hear about it, that means it is there. As long as you see that, it is true. That's why Turiyanandaji, when he mentioned Jagat is also truth from that point of view, as long as you are in that condition. When that changes and you see the consciousness everywhere and you don't see anything as a manifested, that is Shankaracharya's, that we have to realize in that way. As you were mentioning that this world is full of misery, and you can overcome the misery thinking the world is not there, it is good, but at the same time you can say, why this misery? Because some desire, because I am not getting satisfied, where from the desire comes. That way also if you think, you will find that your mind, deceiving your mind. Be very careful. I am feeling the misery means I have some trouble. Why the trouble? That means some of the things I could not satisfy. Either some people I was depending, they didn't give, or I could not. Overcome that. Whatever happened, that is okay for me. And I am going to enjoy the presence of God in everything, that consciousness in everything. So by that way also you will find Brahma Shatya, Jagat Shatya, and everything is depending on this truth. That you will realize if you can look through the viewpoint of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. You can see God by closing your eyes. Can't you see God with open eyes? If you can see God within your heart, can't you see God, the same God, in the human beings, in the living beings? Why not? Same thing. So change your the viewpoint and you will find that there is no conflict between the Shankaracharya and Turiyanandaji. Both are saying the same thing. Thank you.
So the next question is doesn't performing one's swadharma still lead to me thinking I am doing this duty and create an ego? Even if you are thinking you are doing this duty, you are doing the duty of God.
Of course, that is the little ego. It is very difficult to overcome the ego. But when you are thinking that I am doing my swadharma and performing perfectly your sadharma, and then afterwards dedicating that work at the feet of the God, oh Lord, this is what I was supposed to do, I have done, and I offer it to you. By practicing this way, time will come, you will feel there no attachment for those work. Can I tell you, friend, that we also, we joined the order at the age of 23, 24, we were immature, all thing was there. Then slowly practicing this thing, it is not only that we are saying, we practiced it. In my life, by the grace of Mother and Thakur, so many things we did. But the moment the phone call came from our headquarters, Belur Math, hey, that is over. You have been given this responsibility, go and take up that. Never ever turned to that and thought about it that much. And when I was there, I used to think this is the best thing I must have to do. And the moment the call came, I could give away and come back. So in other responsibility, other duties, that is there, the mind is there. So same way in the samsara also, as a son, as a father, as a husband, as an officer, and whatever the responsibility, you do that. When that is over, forget about it. If you can do that, you are a spiritual person. It is a very tough journey because the attachment is so much. How can I deny? But you have to say, when I was not married, where was my wife? And when I die, where she will be? That way, as long as she is there with me, no problem. But then only slowly you can overcome this tremendous attachment. Otherwise, suffering will be there, whether you like it or not. Someday, all of us are going to be alone only. Thank you. Okay, friends, thank you for your questions. So let us chant this mantra and conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa धृतविग्रहं वै ईशावतारं परमेशमिड्यं तं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामः. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.